Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is May 13th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Check out the trough out over the Pacific Ocean here, allowing this big ridge to build here along the west coast of North America, kind of centered over British Columbia here. We're going to stay warm for the next few days, and we've got some monsoon-like moisture here making its way across some of the four corners here, and it's moving up towards Nevada. It'll eventually move towards the Pacific Northwest as well. It's going to clip some of the higher terrain of California, including some of the Sierra Nevada as well. We'll take a look at that in some detail here in a moment. This is looking at that marine layer. You can see it working across and around the immediate coastline here. So you can expect some of those low clouds off and on, generally burning back during the afternoon hours. And again, here kind of on that visible / infrared satellite image, you can see some of that monsoon moisture starting to make its way towards the Pacific Northwest. Again, probably clipping some portions of California here. This is a signal for much warmer temperatures coming up here, and you can see the pretty warm temperatures across some of the valley areas. This is the National Weather Service Bay Area as we go on in through Saturday and Sunday. Plenty of 90s to be had. Here we go, isolated thunderstorms here, and you can see this includes some places like Redding, Chico, Reno out here, and this is for Sunday. Lightning, small hail, and gusty winds can be expected with that. More on that here in a moment. Look at your weekend recreational forecast. National Weather Service Las Vegas. Check out Death Valley 106, 109, Lake Mead 101, Valley of Fire 96 out there. So yeah, warming up here across much of the state, especially as we go through this weekend into next week. This is spring runoff. Nice graphic here from the National Weather Service Las Vegas here, talking about the flooding of campgrounds, rivers, creeks, and streams are running fast and they are cold out there. So heads up if you are out there recreational in the backcountry and whatnot. You know the drill out there, as that snowmelt is now underway across a lot of the higher terrain. This is looking at Merced River out there. You can see it's actually making its way towards the moderate flood stage here. So we're getting above that minor and nuisance flooding here with the potential moderate flooding across some of these rivers and the streams. This is looking at the entire state, still about 47 inches average across the higher terrain, across the Sierra Nevada here. And you can see the median for this time of year is right around 11 inches. So still 4 times above normal, well above the 90th percentile. We are now below the record amount for this time of year, but still plenty of snow needs to be melted across some of the higher terrain. This is day 2 thunderstorm outlook. You can see it include a lot of the Sierra Nevada, Northern California here, and this moisture is going to be moving up to Nevada and Oregon also. This is day 3, includes a lot of the Pacific Northwest, just kind of clipping northern Arizona there. And just off to the east here, some of the deserts in the border between California and Arizona. This would be from Monday through Tuesday morning. Now here we're looking at a wider view of things here. There's the Hawaiian Islands bottom left. California is right there. You can see the big ridge now building over the Pacific Northwest, big trough out over the Pacific Ocean. Put this into motion. You can see that energy kind of move up towards Pacific Northwest, bringing some of that monsoon moisture up to them. And you can see this ridge kind of hangs out here as we go through hour 144. This will be about Friday morning time here as we continue with the above average temperatures here across the state of California. This is looking at composite reflectivity, going over the thunderstorms again. Watch as we go through the day tomorrow. You can see the spin in the atmosphere here, kind of clipping here across some of the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada, Nevada itself. And maybe a pop-up thunderstorm across some of the valley there as we go through the evening tomorrow. And then that system moves up towards the Pacific Northwest, leaving California a bit drier. Now we're looking at lightning flash density potential. I'm going to put this into motion. You see the spin in the atmosphere here as we go through Sunday. You see some of those thunderstorms popping up across the Sierra Nevada here. Nevada, might be above average precipitation here in the next 10 days or so. And you can see with that thunderstorm activity as we go through Sunday evening shown there. Here we go with temperature anomaly. Now this is basically just kind of scrolling through. I think we're going through 6-hour time frames here, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see for the most part, generally above average conditions here as we go on in through the next few days across the state. This is looking at the actual highs. This is 24-hour 2-meter temperature. This would be Sunday afternoon. Look at this. The desert's warming up out there. The valley, Bakersfield, some places out there maybe up towards 100 degrees here. If you want to cool off, you got to get into the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada or right along the immediate coastline. Check out Monday again with the warm temperatures. Here we go. Tuesday afternoon, nice and warm across the area. Like the deserts, some areas getting up towards 100 or even a little more there. So yeah, definitely a warm signal here for the state of California. You can see that reflected here on the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook here across the west coast. This is 8 to 14 day, goes through May 27th here, and that above average signal continues on on in towards the end of May. Here we go, 6 to 10 day precipitation probability. We're at odds here. Some of the models are not showing this above average signal here for the state of California. We're going to go over the European here in a moment. But, you know, some of that monsoon moisture around, I think they're kind of hedging their bets that some of that's going to move into California here. This is the 8 to 14 day through May 27th. Again, kind of showing that above average signal. It does include California. Here we are looking at the European 10-day precipitation anomaly. This was this morning's run, and you can see it is below average along some of the Sierra Nevada here up towards Northern California. Maybe a little bit above average here. Some of the spotty nature of these thunderstorms moving across the area does include Nevada here, some of the southern Sierra Nevada, and maybe some of the higher terrain for California here. And this is the 10-day. Excuse me. This is something we'll be watching here over the next couple days as well. We'll see if there's any increase in this signal for precipitation in some of these model runs. Now, this is looking at sea surface temperature anomalies. You can see it starts April 13th there, and it rolls on through, and you'll see that warmer water encroaching from the the coast to South America there and extending across the equatorial Pacific here. And if you watch closely, we had a pretty good pool of cooler than normal water here right on the west coast. It is warming up as we go through April. And check that out as we get in towards early and then mid-May. You can see the water is starting to warm up here on the west coast of North America as well. And we are likely headed towards a moderate El Nino. As you can see in some of these forecasts, the CFS, check this out, gets up over that strong threshold of 1.5. So we're most likely headed towards a moderate or a strong El Nino coming up here. And if you look closely at these boxes over here, this goes through about to all the way to December here. So you're looking at June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And you can clearly see that huge warm tongue extending from South America across the equatorial Pacific, typical classic La Nina or El Nino signature there. And again, I have done an educational video on this and what El Nino can mean for the state of California. But this oftentimes means rainier than normal, but not always. It's not a guarantee. So we're going to remember that, and we're going to go over those details as we go through the next few months. This is looking at the European. This was released May 1st here, and this is showing a pretty stark signal here for definitely a moderate and potentially a strong El Nino coming up here. That's a pretty strong signal here from the European model. So that's something we'll be watching here for the next few months. Yeah, so anyway, we'll continue to go over these details here. We'll see if the forecasts change and some of that moisture starts to creep a little bit closer to the state of California, but definitely going to be warm, melting that snow. Watch out for that flooding out there, especially off in the backcountry. That water is flowing high and fast. And anyway, I'll try to do one of these at least every other day or so here, and we'll see what this moisture is going to do. Right now, it looks like most of it's headed for the Pacific Northwest, at least in the short term coming up here. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Click like and subscribe. I'll leave a link below for that Tempest weather station if you want to order one of those. I have been comparing 3 of them, and they are doing very well. They're extremely accurate weather stations here. So anyway, yep, we'll do this again either tomorrow or the next day, and I will talk to you guys then.